Hello my friends, my name is LaZeRJET and today it's time for a Hornby review. I am super excited to do another Hornby review for you today, and this is actually the very first Hornby review I'm doing in 2021. So, what engine are we going to be doing today, Mr. Oliver, sir? Well, I have got this. It is a schools class Wellington. And this is very interesting because I've never actually owned a schools class before, so I'm actually really excited. I thought I'd get one in a nice southern green. There's a particular name for it, I'm not exactly sure. But Sam's Trains actually did a review on this exact loco. So I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out Sam's Trains' review of this engine. His reviews are so much better than mine. Duh, Oliver, you do train thing videos. But not only are we going to be unboxing and reviewing this, but I'm also going to be adding a sound decoder on it. Now, I couldn't actually get a schools class sound decoder, so I had to sort of improvise. I got a sound decoder from a J36 class. I'll show you a picture of it, what the engine actually is. It's this thing. So, you know, you've got to kind of improvise with what you've got. So we're going to unbox this and review it, and get the sound decoder out, put the two together, bosh. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that I have actually had a chance to actually look inside the actual loco itself. So I already know what it looks like because I needed to see if the engine was actually broken, because I got this off eBay second hand for only £70. So that's quite good. But I had to check the loco first to see if anything was broken. Anyway, let's get to the unboxing, shall we, Oliver? Okay, so this is it. Very first review of 2021, so let's make it a good one, Oliver. At the moment, I don't actually have... Oh, just knocked the camera with my foot. Well done, Oliver. I just want to let you guys know as well that I don't actually have a Hornby layout at the moment. So once I actually test this thing and get it running with the sound decoder, I'm actually going to stick it on the rolling road. So I'm not going to have like a layout running session for you today, so I do apologise. Anyway, so let's slide this out of its little casing. Now there's a... Oh, careful, Oliver. I'm not very good at these reviews, Oliver, am I? No. I was going to say, yes, the one thing I'm a bit disappointed is that when you get it out of its casing, you get this, like you can't actually see the logo itself because it's covered up by this white blank cardboard bit. So it's very carefully... Oh, if you want to know the code of this engine, it is R2745. Schools class at Wellington. It's DCC ready. That's good. That's what we want. So thumbs up for the DCC ready. Always want to be able to fit the sound chip in. So I'm just very carefully, can't really see it on camera, I'm not very good at getting this on camera, so very carefully slide it out. There we go. We'll move that to one side. And if you guys are actually wondering of what this bit of wood is, this actually bit of wood that I'm actually doing the review on is actually this is a bit of wood that I'm actually going to be using to build my Hornby table. So it's actually quite funny how I'm actually doing a Hornby review on the actual bit of wood that I'm actually going to be building my Hornby layout on. So that's cool. Anyway, let's move this blank bit of cardboard out of the way. And then you get to see the engine. Look at that. Wow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Now we can actually see the engine itself. The only disappointing thing I don't like about this is there's got this wall in the way. So every time you want to pack Wellington, well, the schools class, sorry, back in its box, you're going to unplug this wire from the tender, which, to be honest, I always have a fear that these plugs could easily break, but you know, that's just one of my fears. So having the fact that you have to keep unplugging the actual plug from the tender just to get it back in its box is something I'm not actually impressed with, so I'm a bit disappointed in that. So anyway, let's take these, I like to think these are like plastic locks for the polystyrene box. So let's take that off and then place it down on the floor, and the window should come out like so. So let's move the little window bit. So move that to one side. And then the whole loco, well, not loco, but the box should just lift up like so. Now, here it is. Oh, look at this. Oh, it was cold. There's a thing I need to mention as well that, oh, look at that, that is gorgeous. The one thing I've got to mention, sorry, that the actual loco, like the, what's it called, the footplate and the boiler is actually die-cast metal. So this thing is actually really, really heavy. But doesn't just that look absolutely gorgeous? I'm a bit too close. I'm holding the loco too close to the camera. It's because I've got the camera in a very awkward position, but look at the detail in that. That is beautiful. And if I gently like turn the loco around, look at that cab detail. I love the cab roof. I love how like the cab roof's got like a nice like whitey creamy colour to the roof. And look how much detail. Look at all the like separate pieces that have been fitted to that cab. Oh, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As I said, I did buy this second hand, so they're like for this little bit here, they are like small tiny pieces that are very easily come detached. But as I said, I did buy this second hand for £70. And when I first got this out of the box, one of the smoke deflectors, I think it was this one in fact, that it was actually broken. So this is still a bit wobbly. But apparently these smoke deflectors are very easy to come off. So if they ever do come off again, I can always just fit a bit of glue down and just glue these smoke deflectors in place. But they managed just to click back in just fine. So I wouldn't say they're broken. I think they're just detachables, I think. But that is the loco itself. So that is good, and it's got very much weight to it as well. So that is very pretty. Okay, so moving on to the tender. Now I actually have to be honest, I have actually taken the tender default coal out. I've actually replaced it with more realistic coal. I didn't get this on video because I wanted to keep this as a surprise, but I did send a few pictures on Discord, and my camera's not focusing. Focus in, you silly camera. Come on, oh my god, that is so out of focus. No, stay in focus! Stay in focus, there we go. As I was saying, I actually showed a few pictures on Discord of me trying out some realistic coal with a few tenders, and they actually work pretty well. So here is the schools class Wellington's tender, and I've actually fitted realistic coal. I know there's like much better realistic coal out there, but you know, for my first attempt, I mean, this looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? And this is actually, oh, got a bit of polystyrene there. Let's just brush that out of the way. The tender looks to be intact. It has got sprung buffers, as I have to say, and so does the loco. I can't actually wait to get this on the rolling road and listen to the sound of this thing. But what we actually are going to do is I'm actually going to be taking this tender apart, and I'm going to be fitting the sound chip, because the sound chip and the speaker are actually going to be going inside the tender, because there's more room in there, plus that's the only way I can make the speaker fit. So that is the tender. I just love the detail in the car. I mean, you can actually see just a little bit of like where the glossiness of the glue is, but apart from that, that looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? Beautiful. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these, well, I'm actually going to be taking the, what's it called? The chassis. I'm going to separate the chassis and the casing, or the shell of the tender apart, put the sound decoder in, and then put it back together, and then put it on the rolling road and see what it sounds like. So I'll see you guys in a second. Right, so I've separated the shell of the tender from the chassis. Now what we're going to do is, there is a way of doing this properly. Ooh, let me get it in focus. That's one thing you need to do to properly. First, make sure you get the camera in focus. What I'm going to do, normally, you actually put the speaker underneath this sort of like weighty bit, so the speaker's protected. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to don't do this the way I do it. I do my things, I never do my ways properly. I always just like to do things my way. So if those of you are attempting, oh god, get in focus, will you, stupid camera. If you guys are attempting to copy what I'm about to do, I highly recommend you don't, because I could actually bugger this up. So the thing we want to do is first of all, we need to take out this DC chip pin thing. So we just very gently, God, it's amazing how they make these things so small. Because in fairness, I've got really fat fingers. So I'm just going to gently oh my god, that was easy. So right, so we're going to take that pin out. So now the DC chip is gone. And now we're going to fit the engine with the DCC chip and speaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get the sound decoder from a class J36. So I'm just going to gently open this up without completely breaking the box completely. Right, so just get this out. Aha! Right, this is a very important manual. We might need this later. So there it is. So there's the speaker. The sound chip is somewhere in here, and we've got to plug it in. So this is a bit of a faff. So let's get to it. So here is the speaker and chip. Now the DC chip that I took out looks exactly like the DCC pin, which is this thing right here. Ooh, can't really see it. Which is this thing right here with the like little needle sticking out. It's basically, it just looks the same thing, but we're going to plug that in, and this is the actual chip itself and speaker, and we're going to plug that in the in the school's class tender. So let's do that. And I did say before that there are like loads of different ways of how to fit this, but I'm just going to do it the way I do it because I'm me. I never do things properly. Oh dear, Oliver. So yeah, for children, if you're watching this, please, for God's sake, do not attempt to do anything I'm about to do, because it's reckless. Right, so we're just going to get our actual school's class tender, and we're just going to gently, well, first of all, I need to gently get it on camera, so you guys at home can see what I'm doing. So, gently, do you know what, I just realised I'm left-handed, so I'm doing this completely wrong. I need to have the tender in this hand. Okay, I can do this, Oliver. I can do this. If you're willing to make good content for your lovely fans, then you should be able to do this properly. But this camera is definitely misbehaving today, isn't it? Right, here we go. Wish me luck. Chip goes in there. It's like trying to plug something up with when you plug something into your wall, but much smaller. Come on, very gently, Oliver. Don't break it. For God's sake, don't break it. Aha! It's in! Fantastic. So that's in. Now we need to find a place for the chip. So at the moment we're just going to leave it there. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to get some glue, and I'm going to actually glue the speaker just right here on top of the weights. Instead of the speaker going underneath the weights, I'm actually going to have it on top of the weights instead, because that's just what I feel like doing. Right, so I'm going to get some glue that on, and I'll catch you guys up in a bit once the glue has dried, and it should look like this. Bosh! There we go. Now, I'm not actually too happy about how the actual chip is sort of dangling in mid-air. I mean, it's not one of my greatest designs, but the speaker I'm really pleased with, because the way I did that is, if you actually look, you can actually see all these like tiny, I don't know if you guys can actually see this in close-up, but you can actually see there's like these tiny little blobs of glue, so the sound is not completely covered up by the glue. There are like a few gaps, but there's like little blobs of glue to hold it in place, so that I'm actually really pleased about. But the question is, will it still, will the tender go back together? Because I'm a bit of an idiot, because I didn't actually test this before gluing, so I'm not actually sure that this will actually fit back in. God, I'm such an idiot. So what I'm going to very carefully do is get the wires and the chip in first, like so. But I'll be very, very careful. Will it see if it fit? Please let it fit. Is it gonna fit? Oh yes, it's snug. I mean, I've got to put the screws back in, but apart from that, it fits very well. It's snug. It's perfect. That is actually one of the greatest DCC fitted things I've ever done. Because normally when I fit a speaker to a tender, I normally take the weights out to save space. But the fact that I keep the weights in, that's actually a win for me. So I'm actually really happy about that. Right, let's screw this up, connect it to the school's class itself, put it on the rolling road, and see what it sounds like. Okay, so the tender is now back together as it should be. Engine is now looking great on the rolling road, but the question is, does she move? That is the question. So let's switch on my DCC controller over here. Switch on. Setting 3 is the default, that's good. Right, first of all, before we actually test the sound, let's see if she moves. Let's give it a bit of throttle. Oh, it's moving. Oh, it's moving. She works. She's alive. Oh, she looks great as well. She's finally a schools class DCC fitted engine. Oh, she looks fantastic, doesn't she? I'll try and move the camera around so you can actually get like some cool shots. Oh, that's so cool. I'm really happy. I'm chuffed to bits. Right, now that we know it moves, does the sound actually work? Because sometimes the speakers don't work. I mean, it's a gamble. Anyway, let's try. Oh, I need the manual. So let's see what the manual says. Just bear with me, fellas. Right, okay, using the sound fitters, yeah, blah, 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 safety first, rubbish, we don't want any of that. We actually have, oh wow, we've got a lot of, we actually have a lot of different whistles for this engine. So we're going to try every single whistle first, and the rest is just like default, like guards whistle, blower, brake, cylinder cock, injector, safety valve blowing, and you know, and so on, and wheel slip and all that. Anyway, let's try the very first whistle, which is, well actually, first of all, let's test the sound on and see if the sound works. Oh, sound is on. Sounds amazing. Okay, so first whistle. Whistle long. So let's try that. Whistle long for function 2. Let's have a listen. Yes! I'll try that again. That is amazing. Come on, oh, a little bit of, I think it's short circuited. Let's try that again. There we go. Whistle 3 short bursts. Let's have a listen to that. Oh, I like that. It's like the whistle's kind of choking a little bit. Let's try that again. That sounds so cool. Let's have a look. Function 4 is whistle short burst A, whatever that means. Let's give that a try. Oh, that's just like a little, toot toot. Let's try that again. I like that. And the sound is not too quiet and it's not too loud either. It's just right. That's fantastic. Wheel very long 2 bursts. Let's have a listen to that one. Oh, I love that. That sounds like it's coasting down a heritage railway line. And it does a nice long 2. Let's try that one again because I actually really like that one. Oh, that's beautiful. Wheel slip, coal shoveling. Let's try quick coal shoveling. Oh, fantastic. It sounds so clear as well. This is actually the most clearest sounding speaker I've actually heard fitted to any of my Hornby logos. So that's fantastic. Guard's whistle. Let's try guard's whistle. I want to have a listen to that. Oh, that one's very loud and very bassy. These new speakers, I don't know if these are new speakers, but I have to say that these do sound like they have got more bass to them, so that's fantastic. Coupling clank, I want to hear that one. Oh, that is cool. That actually lasted for quite some time. Right, let's try out the last 4 whistles. So function 19. Let's have a listen to this one. Oh, that's a beautiful one. I'll try that one again. Oh, lovely. That was whistle short burst B, by the way, just let you guys know. So function 20 is whistle fancy. Ooh. What does that sound like? Let's have a listen, shall we? Here we go. Oh my goodness! I love how there's so many different whistles for this one. Let's try number 20 again. That's so adorable. That was whistle fancy. What's whistle long fancy? Let's try that one. So let's try function 21. Let's have a listen. Here we go. Wow. There's so many different amazing whistles to this engine. It's amazing. I love how there's so many different whistles for this thing. I'll try that one again. So cool. And our final whistle is whistle 2 burst shot odd. Sounds interesting. Let's have a little listen, shall we? So final function is 22. Here we go. Oh my god, that sounded very, very odd. That's like a high-pitched squeak. It sounds like the engine is sort of screaming at itself. Let me listen again. That's a very odd whistle. Sounds like the whistle needs a bit of cleaning. I think it's a bit sounds a bit dirty, doesn't it? I think that's why it sounds odd, because it maybe needs a service, that whistle. But no, it does sound amazing. So let's actually give it some speed. Let's put it forward and have a listen, shall we? Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I love the chuffing sound. I mean, the chuffing sound is completely different to the default. Love it. Let's give it a bit more speed and power, shall we? Oh, that is amazing. Let's do another 2 of the whistle. I think we'll go for number 5. I think number 5 is my favourite. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's amazing. Give it a bit more speed, Oliver. Come on, open her up. Wow. I've never seen anything sound so clean and look fantastic at the same time. What a beautiful engine. And what a beautiful sound as well. This has actually got to be one of the best sound chips ever. Pick up a bit more speed, Oliver. Come on, let's open her up. Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing! I think we should give ourselves another. I think we should give her another 2, shall we? I'm so excited. I think we should go for number 20 this time. Let's slow it down. I love how this might sound crazy, but it actually gets quieter the slower you go, and the faster you go, the sound gets more louder, and I think that's actually really clever, and I actually really like that in a weird way. Let's do function 21. Oh, it sounds so good! I love that so much! So there you have it, my friends, my first ever schools class with TTS sound. Now if you guys want to buy this actual sound chip for your other locos if you have in mind, I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can actually buy this off eBay for yourselves and fit this chip to any DCC ready engine, or loco, sorry, any loco that you want. In my opinion, it works perfectly for a schools class. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, if you guys have any idea of what other sound chips that, well, the J36 class sound chip goes well with any other engine, just let me know. But me personally, I think it sounds perfect with the schools class. I'll do number 5 again. Take care, my friends, and hopefully I'll see you guys again very soon in another Hornby review. Bye! Oh my god! Beautiful! Well, that for an experience.
I might be an expert at these things. Sort of.